several high-profile cases throughout the state of Florida. Dr. Phil contacted us to find out who would be the right fit, lawyer-wise, to represent Alyssa Hatcher, being that she's a minor and only 16 years old. So one of my jobs was to find the appropriate representation for Alyssa, orchestrate the appropriate legal team for her, and I found Rajan Joshi, who I've known for 25 years. He's an empathetic lawyer and an aggressive lawyer, so we thought that he would be the perfect fit, and rightfully so, because he was able to negotiate a very good deal for Alyssa Hatcher.
When Rajan came on board, Alyssa was being charged as an adult and facing decades behind bars in the state of Florida. How did you get involved in this case?
Well, I was contacted by a really good friend of mine. He called me up, explained to me the situation, and told me that you were involved and asked me if I'd take it on pro bono. And it was the right cause, it was the right reason, and the right client.
Thank you so much for getting involved in this, because you're right, this was getting ready to go down a wrong direction, and it, I think, was going to ruin this young woman's life. But when you came on board, what was Alyssa being charged with?
She had been arrested for 2 counts of solicitation to commit murder.
Right.
She'd been charged with credit card fraud, 2 counts, grand theft, petty theft. So when I got involved, the prosecution was looking to charge her as an adult.
Did you think that was fair, appropriate, right for her?
Given her circumstances, it wouldn't have been the right call in this particular case. This is a girl who's not got a crime problem, but has a drug addiction. She was an honor student a year before this. She was a cheerleader. She was a varsity soccer player. So she's someone who had all the potential until she got involved in drugs, and then it just led her on a different path.
How did you get this off the path of being charged as an adult and onto the path of being treated as a juvenile? What did you have to do?
What I had to do is I had to present the facts to the prosecution that this was a client who needed drug help rather than punishment. This was someone who loved her parents, who had an addiction that was so strong that she was willing to do anything to protect it.
Just so people understand, what difference did it make in this young woman's life to be charged in the juvenile system instead of being charged as an adult?
Well, if she was charged as an adult, her guidelines were starting off right at 10 years. And then it could go up to 75 plus years with everything she's charged with. Right. Not saying she'd ever get that, but, and then she's also looking at a felony conviction. She's looking at going to prison, adult prison. Right now, fortunately, she went into a juvenile detention facility, and she's going to be out in 9 months. And then she's going to be on secured release, where one of the main aspects of it is her getting drug help.
When you met with her, was she leaning into the help?
It took a little bit of tough love. It took some time with her to actually get her to admit that drugs have caused her life to spiral out of control. But once she realized it, it dawned on her.
Now, listen, I know you don't want to toot your own horn here too much, but how grateful are her parents for what you achieved here? They get it?
They do, but I also have to give them, you know, some of the credit, the support they had towards her, the love they had towards her. I think it was a group effort. I won't take all the credit myself.
I understand. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough. When I sat down with those parents, they were so lost. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to go. For you to step up and lean into this for them, I mean, it just made a difference between this girl, you know, winding up spending years with really hardened criminals versus getting the help she needed and a second chance at her life. And I hope you go home feeling good about that kind of result.
I do. Thank you.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
I feel honored that you picked me for this.
Well,
thank
you for doing it. We will keep you updated on this story, and we hope this family can heal.